filled with life, creatures that we're just beginning to get to know, whole categories of life that have no counterpart in freshwater or terrestrial situations, and the fish. Now, we have a way of thinking of fish as something to eat. That's no kidding. I mean, they're good to eat. Birds are good to eat, and we eat lots of birds. We used to eat almost any kind of bird that walked or flew. Our ancestors certainly made a living as hunter-gatherers. But we gave up eating most birds. We still eat Kentucky Fried Birds. We have birds at Christmas. We have a lot of chicken, variations on the theme of, but we have kind of slacked off with most of the 9,000 or so species of wild birds, valuing them more as part of our life support system, valuing them more alive than dead. Not so the fish. Fish are the birds of the sea, but we are still far behind in terms of valuing them in the way that we do wildlife on the land. They are wildlife. Individual species, every one, like every cat, dog, kid, bird, there are no two fish exactly alike. But when you think of a carnivorous fish like a tuna, a swordfish, a shark, they're way up the food chain beyond lions and tigers. Lions and tigers eat grazers. Tunas eat fish. They'd eat other fish that eat other fish that eat other fish. You know, you've got this long and complex food chain. And oh, by the way, they're not just a year old like a cow or a chicken or a pig. The ocean is full of life. Every spoonful may have 1,000 variations on the theme of microbes, of more than, several million, in a spoonful of what looks like clear ocean water. It's a living system that shapes the chemistry of the planet for the little guys and the big guys, the whales, that we did find tasty and did come to a point where we stopped killing them when their numbers seemed imperiled a few decades ago. But now whale sharks and other fish are in similar states of distress. It's because of our appetite for shark fin soup. It's shark steak. It's a macho meal to go eat mako or thresher shark, some people think. But times are changing. Images such as this is Tasmania, but it could be anywhere. It could be London. It could be any of the many places here in Florida or California or in Hong Kong. We have developed a taste for wildlife in the sea. It is bushmeat. It is wild meat. We're not harvesting the sea. We're hunting and gathering whatever is there, using techniques, as you heard from Jim, that are destructive in ways that I'm going to show you in a moment, using the equivalent of bulldozers to catch songbirds out of the ocean. We do not treat these creatures with dignity. We do not treat them with respect. We treat them as commodities. We treat them as just pounds of meat. But creatures such as this, orange ruffy, southern hemisphere fish that are widespread, at least they used to be, but in 30 years, from being a zero element in our diets to a point where they are being considered for endangered species listing in Australia, these creatures take 30 years to mature, maybe 100 years old before they're brought to market, or even 200 years old, or 250 years old. We do not raise 250-year-old cows. We don't even raise 30-year-old cows or chickens, but we think little of going out to the ocean 2,000 feet down, taking nets that drag the ocean bottom to capture, to mine wildlife for a 20-minute meal that sells right now. The most recent price tag that I saw for orange ruffy in a supermarket in Oakland, California was $8.99, not nearly the true cost of that pound of protein. Just a glimpse, a few little images of what it looks like when a trawl goes by, this in the deep sea. It's true with shrimp trawls out in the Gulf of Mexico. It's true with the trawls that bring up pollock. It's true with any of these bottom dragging techniques. We wouldn't tolerate it if we saw it on the land. We'd say, that's just foolish. You're sacrificing that entire ecosystem for a few pounds of highly subsidized products? Why would we do that? Why would we destroy 2,000-year-old corals and take 200-year-old fish for a non-sustainable source of protein. And oh, by the way, that bycatch that Jim mentioned, 300,000 or so marine mammals are captured every year and just thrown away. Birds as well, that are part of the cost of doing business that we generally are oblivious to as consumers. I say I'm one of the lucky ducks who gets to go splash around in the ocean using technologies that have only come about in the last few decades. It is such a joy to be out there cruising around, seeing the ocean from the inside out, and then bringing back the news to you, to anybody that I can catch, to the kids. These happen to be 2 of my 4 grandsons. I feel compelled, like an astronaut who's been up in the sky looking back at that blue planet, to not keep what I see to myself. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't say that Earth is in trouble. We have choices, as has been pointed out many times. We need to care about the ocean because it's our life support system, most importantly. It shapes climate and weather. It's the cornerstone of climate, the cornerstone of weather. These incredibly important new insights into climate change, we need to get the ocean, the blue part of the planet, solidly on the balance sheet and to recognize that unless we take care of the ocean that drives climate, stabilizes climate, is the anchor that has kept us more or less secure through all the other changes that are taking place, now is at risk because it too is now being threatened by our actions. The next 10 years may be the most important little piece of time in the next 1,000 years, through what we do or through what we don't do. I'm so pleased to be a part of the Green-Blue Forum because I feel that I'm in the presence of people who are inspired to use their power, your power, to make a difference so that in the next 50 years or 500 or 5,000, instead of having people look back and say, why didn't you do something while there still was a chance? They'll look back and salute those who actually made a difference and kept the options open. Thank you.